Ego is just a small 3-letter word which can destroy a big 12-letter word called relationship. Nothing is a state of the ego. The ego tries to convince us that we are empty and we need something to feel love, success, and happiness. Our true self requires nothing to feel complete. Ego is the only requirement to destroy any relationship. So be a bigger person, skip the E and let it go. Ego is just like dust in the eyes. Without clearing the dust, we can't see anything clearly. So clear the ego and see the world. Quiet the ego, soften the heart, open the mind, be kind. When ego is lost, limit is lost. You become infinite, kind, and beautiful. The moment you become aware of the ego in you, it is strictly speaking no longer the ego, but just an old conditioned mind pattern. Ego implies unawareness. Awareness and ego can't coexist. Be careful, the ego destroys. Most people are ego sensitive, not life sensitive. When we put the ego aside and really listen to one another, there we find a universal need to hear and accept it entirely, the same ways as the next person. The doors of love only open for the person who is prepared to let his ego go. To surrender one's ego for someone else is love. To surrender one's ego for all is divine love. The decision to make the present moment into your friend is the end of the ego. The ego is an iceberg. Melt it in deep love, so it disappears and you become part of the ocean. When the ego dies, the soul awakes. In a war of ego, the loser always wins. No one learns the meaning of life until he has surrendered his ego to service of his fellow man. Relationship never dies a natural death. They are murdered by ego, attitude, and ignorance. Some people destroy their relationship just because they are not willing to put aside their ego. Apologizing doesn't always mean that you're wrong and that the person is right. It just means that you have valued your relationship more than your ego.